Hey guys, today I will share with you the first real trip with my Aussie Goose. This was the reason why I built this skiff, and boy am I happy I did. I can go sailing anywhere I want without having to worry about trailers and finding a parking space for it, which is a pain on summer. Anywhere around the coast, even for a single car, let alone a car and a trailer. Loading and unloading is easy enough, as I showed in previous videos.
O que é que fez isso tudo?
Foi
Deslizou?
aquela perna.
Deslizaram?
Sim,
Para a frente?
sim. Junto ao carro.
Lá.
The small trolley does a decent job of carrying the boat, even with a full cargo. But the wheels are a bit too small for sand, and it was somewhat difficult to cross the loose sand. This side of the lagoon is full of seaweed, and we can't launch right in front of the ramp, so we need to take it about 200 meters west. Thankfully, the wet sand was just hard enough to make it possible to take the skiff to the launching spot. Re-rigging is not that quick at the moment, but it's not too bad either. I need to iron out a few kinks and come up with some ideas to make the whole process as quick as possible. And we're ready.
Aqui muita criancinha.
There was still some seaweed there, but a successful launch regardless. And now we head to the other margin to reach a secluded beach away from the crowd. The only way to get there is by boat or by 4x4 vehicle, if you know what you're doing.
Okay, first day out with the Cartopper for the first trip, put it this way. And we are at Lagoa de Albufeira, and we're going to the other margin because that's a secluded beach there. There's no way to get there unless you have a boat or a good 4x4, and then you still need to know what you're doing or you're gonna get stuck on that sand. So let's enjoy the beach on that side. Later on there's a forecast for stronger winds, so we have a bit of a sail later on.
I do need to cut the tiller extension a bit or make a telescopic one for when I'm carrying crew. What a perfect day so far. We actually decided to sail around for a bit before unloading all the gear, and the goose didn't even seem to care about the extra weight.
Acho que esta parte nós conseguimos. Só para levantar mais isto.
Pode ir. Normalmente tenta-se não sair pelo...
First landing spot wasn't to Marina's liking, with a bit too much seaweed on the bottom, so we sailed west a couple of 100 meters and it was much cleaner.
Gosto mais, está mais limpa. Não tem nada a ver. Mas é fundo, é logo bem da fundo.
Ainda apanhaste o aí, foda-se isso, Lazy Jack, não sei como é que há gajo que vive isto.
Ok.
Now, about the venue. Lagoa de Albufeira, or Albufeira Lagoon. It's located in the county of Sesimbra. It's fed by two small creeks to the east and a canal connecting it to the sea, which is open in summer and then closed again during winter time. This process is getting harder each year as more and more sand gathers inside the lagoon, meaning the amount of sand to be removed to open the canal is starting to be just too much. If not enough water gets in, water starts to warm up and holding less oxygen, so fish start to die. Dredging operations are now on the cards as the only solution for the problem. Still, the lagoon is a windsurfer's paradise, with consistent winds mostly from the northwest, allowing for almost 2 kilometers sailing on a beam reach either way. And if you run into trouble, the wind will naturally bring you back to shore. And talking about windsurfing, here comes a local legend, a man who has dedicated his life to the sport, Rui Meira. Several times Portuguese national windsurf champion, he lived his life right here by the lagoon. He taught me the basics of windsurfing some 30 odd years ago. He owns Meira Pro Center, where you can book a bunch of different water activities. I have no affiliation with it, but Rui is a great guy, and the kids seem to agree. Now, while Marina sets up camp, I'll go up the dunes and give you a wider view of the lagoon.
Okay, so lovely sunshine and suddenly, look at that. This wasn't on the cards.
Well, just another excuse to go sailing a bit more. Sailing in the clouds. And I was so entertained that I didn't even lower the rudder all the way. And guess what? The goose didn't even complain.
What a perfect day for sailing, guys. Not too hot, just enough wind. Awesome. This year, the mussel farm. Each one of them ropes is hanging down a few meters, and all the mussels are stuck to it.
And just as quick as the sun disappeared, it came back again. More fun. Even got to race against a windsurfer. You know, two sails close to each other. And no, I don't care if he didn't know we were racing. I then went a mile or so to the east and made my way back, not by beating as close to the wind as possible, as that seemed to kill my speed, but easing a few degrees, which allowed me to keep speeds between 5 and 6 knots most of the times, even upwind. And a well-deserved swim after. Soon it was time to pack things up and head back home, so more sailing. And the beautiful end of the day. All we needed now was to get to shore and have a pint. This time we were going to try to land right next to the ramp, despite the seaweed, and there was a lot of it. Unfortunately, this part of the lagoon has lots of dead seaweed and even some fish have now perished. Add a muddy bottom to that and the smell is not so pleasant.
Isso aqui já tô mal. Não quero. Eu não quero.
At least one of us has to get the feet dirty.
Isso é só lama.
And since the goose is really light, even with our gear in there, we decided not to put the little trolley in that mess and just carried it to the sand by hand. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. See you next week.